Yo, what did you share that comment? Welcome back to another video. And today we are back with some more Death Note. Today we're back with episode 3.
Trace!
Light thought he had L, but indeed it was L who had Light. I guess what L did is the righteous way. I mean, the guy was on death row. He's gonna die that day, so.
Good thing it wasn't that gruesome, so everybody watching worldwide wasn't like,
True.
oh, God.
If you guys are enjoying the show, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Number of the guys. It's Ryan, it's Nile, Kobi, Cole, Teji. Without further ado, we're listening and watching episode 3 with you.
Right. Let's start with the tip line reports.
Yes, sir. Up to this point, we've received 3,029 responses about the murders via telephone and email. All 14 accounts were followed up on and carefully documented. However, nobody could provide any information that wasn't already publicly available. And lastly, this week there were an additional 21 people who called in claiming to be Kira. We followed standard procedure and created files for all 21 of them.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Good job.
Yeah, okay.
Upon further
All right,
investigation,
sit down.
we have
No
confirmed
raise
that
for you.
information of the heart attack victims was in fact publicly available in Japan
Public Senate.
immediately prior to their deaths. We found that all of them occurred between the hours of 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. on weekdays, local time, with 68% of them occurring between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m.
It suggests that given the times of death, our suspect could very well be a student. Based on the fact that Kira's only killing criminals, I think it's safe to assume that he's driven by a very idealistic notion of justice. We're dealing with an individual who has a very
Who let him cook, bro? My boy is cooking like Chef Boyardee.
At this point. But still, I recommend you re-examine any assumptions you've made as to whether or not our suspect could be a student. We must consider every possibility. Please, continue with your report.
Oh, right. What is it, Matsuda?
Well, I'm not saying this to support Kira or to condone the murders, but in the last few days throughout the world, but especially here in Japan, we've observed a dramatic decrease in the number of violent crimes committed.
I suppose it makes sense. We've suspected something like that would happen. Well, that about sums up our report for today. L?
Thank you, everyone. I feel we're one step closer to finding Kira. I would like you to go back and take a closer look at the exact way in which the victims' identities were made public. Be as thorough as possible.
In particular, I want to know if photos of the victims were made available to the public in Japan.
He's cooking.
Oh, God.
You look like you could use one of these. Sleeping much?
Thank you. That'll do the trick.
About what I said earlier at our meeting. Well, now that I think about it, I'm sure everyone already knew that. I wanted to apologize.
What on earth are you talking about? Nobody said it would be easy to speak the truth, but it has to be done. Having said that, if you'd gone on to say that we should commend Kira for doing such a great job of reducing violent crime, then yes, I might have had a little problem with that.
Oh, no, no, I wouldn't. That would never happen.
Just
That
kidding.
detective got a James Corden feel to him.
Yeah, Loki, oh, God.
Batman references is pretty funny. Makes sense.
I guess so. He's home really early today.
Whoa.
No
Why don't you
way.
at least try the last problem by yourself?
Helping your sister with her homework. You sure are relaxed.
Of course. If the police try to come after me, I'm pretty confident I've got something that'll give me the advantage. Hey, glad you could join us for dinner. You hungry?
Oh, no.
It's been a long day.
Well, this puts a turn on the table.
So, Light, tell me, how are your studies going?
Everything's okay, I guess.
Whatever. He's at the top of his class. My big brother's a genius.
Is everything okay, Dad? You look tired.
Yeah, I'm not able to say too much about it.
I see. Well, Daddy's a policeman. And that must be the reason why you're so confident.
That's right. It's easy for me to hack into Dad's computer. This way I can
diabolical
keep track
man.
of their investigation.
What?
Here we go.
You were, wow.
Damn.
Well, isn't that interesting?
Sip
Looks like the police are already beginning to suspect a student.
sipping a cup of Joe.
I guess that means you're in trouble.
No coaster,
If
bro.
the cause of death is written within 40 seconds of writing the person's name,
Sick
it will
work.
happen. If the cause of
What an
death is
animal.
not specified, the person will simply die of a heart attack. After writing the cause of death, details of the death should be written in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
So what's your point?
In other words, if I write heart attack as the cause of death, then I should be able to write down all the details, including time of death afterwards, shouldn't I?
He's switching up his
7 p.m.
strat.
fry. It's 95 degrees.
Inmate 148, what's wrong? Snap out of it!
Diabolical.
All right, so he started
I don't believe this.
writing that people
Another
would
23
die.
victims yesterday? He's killing one off every hour on the hour.
Considering that this new pattern has been going on for 2 weekdays,
it does punch some holes in the theory that our suspect is a student.
Maybe not. Anybody can skip 2 days of school.
It does appear less likely now that Kira's a student. But that's not the message he's sending by doing this. Ask yourselves, why every hour? And why are all these victims in prisons where they are sure to be discovered immediately? I believe Kira is telling us that not only can he kill from a distance, but he can also determine the time of death.
As soon as we began to suspect that Kira might be a student, the pacing of the killings changed, as if to contradict that theory. This can only mean that Kira has access to police information. It's obvious now. This is a direct challenge to me.
I'd say Al is probably starting to sweat a little by now. What'll really make his job difficult is that I've deliberately left about 50 criminals alive for times like this.
So Kira has found a way to obtain information from the task force headquarters. But what does he get out of all this? What is he hoping to achieve?
Look at the setup, bro.
Yeah, on the floor.
Yeah, this is on the floor, man.
Showing them you have connections to the police makes it easier for them to find you than when they just suspected you were a student.
Well, my real agenda is to get close to El. You still don't understand human beings. In this world, there are very few people who actually trust each other. And it's no different for the police, you know. What's especially important is that El and the investigators don't trust each other at all. When El discovers that I'm somehow getting confidential information, he'll be obligated to start investigating the police to find the source of the leak. When that happens, it'll only be a matter of time before the police start resenting El. El will investigate the police, and they will be investigating El. I'm not the one who's going to find El. I can let the police do that for me.
with all due respect, Chief, we're resigning. We demand that you assign us to a different case.
Why? You're good cops.
Isn't it clear? It's because we value our lives, sir.
Well, if I were Kira, sir, I'd probably want to try and get rid of the people who were trying to catch me.
We all sat here and watched when El decided to pull that media stunt and challenged Kira to kill him. But then again, El never had to show his face or reveal his name, for that matter. He asked that we take a closer look at how these victims' identities were made public, and specifically to determine whether photos of the victims were available to the public prior to their deaths. Every single one of those victims' names and photos were broadcast to the Japanese public, and then they died. Unlike someone we know, we're out there investigating this case wearing police IDs with our names and photos on them.
The truth is, we could be killed by Kira at any time.
For these reasons, we refuse to continue working this case.
Hey, stop! All of you! Hold it right there!
In order to solve this problem, we must establish the concept that x squared equals large x as simply the multiple of two integers.
We brought the FBI to Japan 4 days ago. They're fully operational. As requested, they're now gathering intel on the police.
There are 141 people in the police force who have access to classified information regarding the investigation. We will find our suspect.
I already told you you can't talk to me in public. How many times do I have to tell you?
If you don't want to hear me, you can plug your ears or something. First of all, I don't have anything against you. I actually think the notebook couldn't have been picked up by a better person. I'm here because I have to stick around till the death note is finished, or I see you die, whichever comes first. But make no mistake, Mike, I'm not on your side or Elle's side. You'll never hear me say anything about whether what you're doing is right or wrong. I'm not here to support you or give you my opinion. I'm just a spectator.
It's really not like you.
It's just that I'm no ally of yours, or Kira's if you prefer. The only reason I'm gonna tell you this is because personally it's starting to creep me out.
To the point already.
Something's
Imagine creeping out a Shinigami.
You're being followed by another human. He's watching you right now.
It's getting jiggy.
It's really starting to get on my nerves. I realize there's no way he can see me. I feel like I'm constantly being watched.
That's a problem. I'll have to get rid of him as soon as possible. Who would be following me? Does this mean L is already starting to suspect the police? Even if he has as many as 50 people on the case, I don't see how they could ever figure out that I'm Kira. But the longer I let this person keep following me, the greater the chances they'll figure out who I really am. Above all, I need my stalker's name. Once I figure that out, I can get rid of him for good.
Light. What makes a Shinigami and a human who has a death note different? And why do Shinigami have to write the names of humans in their death notes? You got any ideas?
Of course not. Why would I know that?
It's because we are able to take human lifespans for ourselves.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean by that?
Let's say you have a human who is due to live until the age of 60, and a god of death wrote that this person would die at 40. 60 minus 40 equals 20. Now those 20 years taken from someone in the human world are added to that god of death's life. So it means that as long as we don't slack off, even if someone was to shoot us in the head, or stab us in the heart with a knife, a god of death cannot die. No matter how many names you write in your death note, your lifespan will not increase. That is the first difference between gods of death and humans who possess a death note.
Pretty interesting stuff.
The second difference between us will probably be of even greater interest to you. Though this has less to do with lengthening life and more to do with cutting it short. Shinigami can tell what a person's name is by just looking at their face. We know instantly, because through a Shinigami's eyes, a human's name can be seen above their head.
Name and lifespan?
That's right. I'm able to see your name and lifespan right now. If I converted that to human time, I could tell you how many years you've got left. I may have a big mouth, but even I wouldn't go that far. Shinigami never have to worry that they won't be able to kill a person just because they don't know their name. Our eyes just aren't the same, and that is the difference between you and I. If a Shinigami drops his death note and a human picks it up, he can grant that human the eyes of a Shinigami. The price for having a Shinigami's eyes,
your soul,
is half of that person's remaining lifespan.
Half of my remaining lifespan?
Yeah.
And since you've made it clear you're not on anyone's side, and won't help me out, you wouldn't just give me the names of people I wanted to kill.
That's right. It's a key part of the code that all Shinigami are bound by. Give me half your remaining lifespan, and I'll give you the Shinigami eyes.
If I agree, if I had that power, the Death Note would only be easier to use.
Oh boy.
God, bruh.
What'll it be, Light? Is it a deal?
Oh.
Man.
Bro, what the heck?
Dang it!
What the heck, bro?
This man's just jumping farther and farther down the...
Bro, just give him an apple for every person he identifies for you.
I mean,
Yo.
Yeah, I'm saying that would be
that's a fair trade.
Barter system. You tell me what that
Bro,
person
imagine
is.
killing someone costs $239, bro.
Yeah, that's insane, bruh.
That was expensive. It's $39.
Inflation.
Bro. Yeah, I don't know if he goes with that deal, man. I guess
Yeah, it's an interesting deal, though. I mean,
I'm thinking he probably just gets his vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
his power.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Yeah, bro.
it's a very interesting deal. And listen, I'm thinking he's probably going to take it,
Yeah, he's
considering
definitely
he
gonna
jumped
take
to 100 with
So
every
he-
other
He
choice.
started smiling like, yes.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, you mean short life for me? Tell me more."
Well, I mean, it's not like he goes to heaven or hell anyway.
That's true.
that's true.
So where does he go? That's the question.
Purgatory.
Purgatory or like?
Limbo.
Well,
It just got interesting.
Got really interesting. Yeah, and now, so L suspects that it's someone close to the police force is getting information, and he's now secretly investigating the police without their knowing.
Yeah.
So that agent's probably an FBI agent
Yeah.
outside
so.
Light's house.
Yeah.
And he's probably not gonna make it, let's be real.
I don't know. He's already suspecting that Ryu caught him quick. But I did notice that, like, coincidentally, too, and it probably is it definitely is probably an FBI agent from L's camp, because L did, when he dropped those papers on the ground, the first one that you saw that, like, stood out was Light's father.
Yeah, Captain.
Has anyone seen Ryuk around lately? Maybe he was serious about losing his death note.
No way. Then he'd be stuck there till the end of that human's life or until the death note was destroyed. That could take a while.
But you know what? I actually heard he was carrying 2 death notes.
So, the price for receiving the eyes of a Shinigami is no more than half of my remaining lifespan?
Sounds like a sweet deal.
Oh, you barely begun to live.
Do we have a deal or not?
I'm gonna whisper it in your ear.
Out of the question.
I thought he was gonna be like, hell yeah, sign me up.
Let's get this straight. My plan is to create an ideal new world free from evil and all criminals. And I intend to reign as a god in that world for a very long time.
Yeah. I still felt I should tell you that the deal existed just in case. Anyway, I've done my part. I don't need you complaining I didn't tell you this earlier on.
Or better yet, you could have simply included it in the instructions for the Death Note.
Good point. He's not the slightest bit daunted by the fact that I'm a Shinigami.
I love this kid.
Welcome home, son.
Are you sure there's nothing else you want to tell me ahead of time?
Yeah.
Shinigami?
Whoa.
Nothing else.
You know, Ryuk, I might have seriously considered the deal if you'd offered me wings instead of eyes. Just the idea of flying around freely in the sky sounds very godlike.
You'd stand out if you sprouted wings and flew around. Not to mention the police would have no trouble finding you.
I was only joking. Though, who knows? I bet that could be pretty interesting.
I wouldn't worry. Even without the eyes and the wings, you're already a worthy Shinigami. We lead meaningless and empty lives. And the only reason we still take human lives is because we're afraid to die ourselves. The truth of the matter is that we no longer even know why we exist.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
That is
What
sad.
I'm saying is, compared to that, you're becoming a much more impressive Shinigami.
Depressed Shinigami.
I don't want to be compared to a Shinigami.
Damn.
I'm a human using this Death Note to make the world a better place for other humans.
Yeah, well.
I wouldn't necessarily
is
say
subjective.
that the Shinigami realm is meaningless to humans either. Whenever a Shinigami like you comes to the human world once every 100, no more like every 1,000 years, the human world changes dramatically. You told me just now that the Shinigami realm is slowly rotting, right? Well, when you return from this world, why not use what you've learned here to try and change it for the better? That's why I'm using the Death Note to create a better world. You have to be a positive thinker to even attempt something like this. That's it. I got it.
Got what? What's this about?
I think I just figured out how to find the name of the guy who was following me today.
How you gonna do that?
I'm gonna use the rules of the Death Note to my advantage. I already know that if I write down a cause of death, I've got 6 minutes and 40 seconds to record the conditions and exact time of death. This should be interesting.
What a weirdo.
Oh, God.
Another 6 inmates were found dead last night. All were heart attacks.
Just got the call
It's
I
him.
wanted for today.
What do you mean? So they didn't just die from heart attacks?
No, what I'm saying is they all died of heart attacks, but it wasn't quite that simple. Another left a letter, but it doesn't seem to be a will or anything meaningful. And as for the third victim, he escaped from his cell and ran all the way to the staff bathrooms before he died.
What is it, Watari?
3 more heart attack victims, but the circumstances of their deaths are different from what we've seen thus far.
What do you mean by different? It sounds like he was afraid that Kira would find him. It's believable that our victim might have been genuinely afraid and wrote this, but we know Kira can control the time of death. What if he can also determine the actions in the moments leading up to death?
We can't release details of these men's deaths to the media. As far as they're concerned, these are just heart attacks. I have reason to believe that Kira was performing some kind of test using these criminals.
Right, I understand.
So now he's experimenting on his victims?
He's playing with people's lives as if all this was just a game.
I wonder what the test was.
Kira is really using criminals as test subjects. What is he trying to achieve?
I think we're in luck. The results of yesterday's little test have already been downloaded onto my dad's computer. One of them escaped and ran into the bathroom I had specified in the Death Note. Another one drew the same symbol I had drawn in the Death Note before he died. And finally, a third wrote the same letter I had written in the Death Note, word for word. With the first one, I wrote that he would die in front of the Eiffel Tower in 1 hour. However, everyone knows that it's physically impossible to go from a prison in Japan to Paris, France in only 1 hour. The next was supposed to draw an exact picture of Elle's face on the prison wall. This also didn't happen. You can't draw someone you've never seen, right? With the last one, I tried something slightly different. I specified that he would write a note that read, "I know that L is suspicious of the Japanese police," which means it's impossible to make someone write what they don't already know. Or, at the very least, it has to be the kind of thing that they could come up with on their own. But, as long as it's within the realistic limits of what that person might do, I can control them as much as I want before they die. These latest victims will no doubt keep L and the police guessing. Even as we speak, he's probably trying to decipher all the clues I left for him.
If Kira used those criminals to conduct an experiment of some sort, it means he's about to start something. If he moves now, there's a good chance that the FBI will notice someone acting suspiciously. Is this it?
All right, time for the real thing.
Real thing?
Yesterday on the news, they said this drug addict tried to rob a bank but was unsuccessful. He attacked a few people and then ran away empty-handed. I'll use him.
A few people? For what?
You'll see. Believe it or not, I'm actually a rather popular guy. What do you...
All hands on deck.
Light? Oh, morning.
Who we finna call?
Ghostbusters.
Still following me. Perfect.
Light!
He's meeting up with little fine shit.
Yeah, I'm sure even my stalker will see it that way.
But this isn't just a date, is it? So tell me, what do you plan on doing?
Huh? Come on. Didn't you see what I wrote in the death note? In that case, just be patient and watch what happens. Sorry, did I keep you waiting?
No, not at all. I'm so excited.
Space
And the
Land.
best part is I have you all to myself.
During the week, he goes to school and cram school at night. Dates on his day off. A normal kid, just a hardworking senior in high school. No cause for suspicion. At any rate, I'll be done with my surveillance today, and that'll be it.
I don't get it, Light. Didn't you say you weren't going out until entrance exams were over? You're such a nerd.
Subtle, perfect.
Catch his face. I'm pretty sure he did catch his face in that alley.
I don't like how happy this is getting. I feel like it's gonna get brutal.
We finna go to Spaceland, baby. We're gonna look at the light. We're getting ready to cook.
Tim, he's here.
Oh.
7 passengers, excluding him. No one's in the way.
Oh!
Stay in your seats unless you want to die.
A bus jacking? You gotta be kidding me.
If anybody moves, I'm putting a bullet in their head. I know you've got the number for Spaceland's office on you. Call them.
Okay.
Tell them what's going on, and no tricks either.
My bus has been hijacked, and he's holding a gun to my head.
Give me that. Have a female staff member bring all of Spaceland's cash from yesterday. I know it's there. Have her meet us 2 bus stops from the park. And
I'm in
don't
the
make me
local
wait.
Chuck E. Cheese.
If you mess with me at all, or try to get the police
Because
involved,
it sounds
I swear
better.
I'll kill every one of these passengers.
Beauty, don't be scared. As soon as he turns around, I'm going to grab the gun out of his hand.
Don't be stupid. That's risky. If it comes to that, I'll take care of it. It's okay. We don't have to pass notes back and forth. As long as we keep it down, he won't be able to hear our voices over the sound of the engine.
Do you have any proof that you're not his accomplice? Why should we trust you? The first hijacker comes in like he's working alone. Meanwhile, a second one pretends to be a hostage and stays in the very back just in case something goes wrong.
I have no choice. I'm sure Light Yagami isn't Kira. Here's my proof. Take a look.
Oh my.
FBI? I see. L needed an outsider, so we got the FBI to investigate anyone
He's got his
connected to the
name.
Japanese police.
Wow, that was easy.
Ray Penber.
Huh.
Trust me. I guess for the time being, I won't bother with the FBI agent is doing what he must in the first place.
We got him.
If it comes down to it,
Case closed.
Yes.
You want me to shoot you right now?
He sounds like he's from Brooklyn.
This guy, his face was all over the local news just a few days
Hey,
ago.
I'm walking here.
Some junkie. He tried to rob a bank, ended up killing 3 people before he got away.
Don't move, you little punk! What the hell is that? Smartass! You guys were planning something back here, weren't you?
Damn it. If he sees that note from before, he'll find out the Light was planning to jump him and take his gun away.
Plans for a date, huh? Stupid kid.
How did he get him?
Who the hell are you? You in the very back. What do you think you're doing? Don't mess with me! How long you been hiding back
Oh!
What's this? You're talking to me?
How the hell did he?
So you mean you can actually see me right now?
there? Stay there, you! Everyone, get down!
Oh, I get it. That little note that Light accidentally dropped was actually torn from the pages of the Death Note itself. That's so
Forgot
smart.
contact with the book.
Get away!
Sorry, pal.
Jump his...
Anyone who touches the Death
Jump
Note can see
him!
me, and a Shinigami can't die from being shot. I've said all these things at one time or another. He even used this hijacking as a way to get the guy following him to willingly give up his name.
Sounded juicy.
Yeah. Wow, that was a
Feel
lot.
bad for the girl he took the date on.
Oh God, just wanted space land.
11:45 on the dot. Everything went just as I planned. Kiichiro Osoreda, accidental death. Boards the 11:31 Spaceland-bound bus near the eastern entrance to the park, holding a loaded gun and attempts to hijack the bus. Terrified, he flees the bus. Immediately afterwards, at 11:45, he dies when struck by a car.
That's a devious
man.
plan.
Painted him.
The Death Note never fails. You will be next, Ray Penber.
Man, just doing his job, gang.
Yeah. Damn, bro.
Anybody who gets in his way, as he said, he quoted it. Well,
What a plan. That was very
that
smart.
was a crazy plan. I forgot. Like,
Also,
yeah.
he's sick for that.
Yeah.
Psychopath.
He is
Sick
a
individual.
psycho.
Just to find out this dude's name. And this dude didn't even do anything wrong. He was just doing his job.
Oh God.
Literally, it was his last day finding or following or tailing him too.
Facts.
Yeah.
Tailing Light.
Facts.
Yeah.
And the dude was actually trying to genuinely help him in the situation of a bus hijacking. He was like, "Yeah, don't do that. It'd be stupid."
Right.
Please have mercy.
Oh
Right.
God. Well, that was crazy. I forgot for a second. That just reminded me that anybody who touches the book, you can see Shinigamis.
And yeah, so Ray Penber. You know, I guess we'll see. You know what
How long he lasts.
You know what lies. in
What
your
lies
future,
beneath.
You know.
R.I.P.
But unfortunately,
Nothing good, I don't think.
Oh God.
Did you get inference? You know, I mean, he does have his name and has seen his face.
And he learned that they brought the FBI in.
Right.
Yep.
A key point. So the Americans have arrived on the
thanks.
scene.
This is an all hands on deck investigation. They're going to
Great lengths.
They're going through great lengths, going outside the country for help.
You know.
So.
Yeah, well, Light's apparently L's apparently the best. You know, so he, when he needs to get the job done, I guess there's no one that he can't call.
Facts.
When the time is right. So we'll see what's going on next episode, man. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Be sure you hit that like button down below. And yeah, as always, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.